Let's roll through some announcements here. January announcements. Like I say, there's not too much going on. I got to get my window view here where I can see everything. Take this opportunity to welcome all of our new members that may be on right now or soon to be joining us on tonight's meeting, and any visitors that we've got. Glad to see you guys could join us tonight. We as a board decided that we're pretty much going to say that for the next 6 months minimum, we're going to have our meetings online like this. At the end of those 6 months in the June area, we'll kind of see how things are going and make some assessments from there. But don't want you to think that we're going to jump right back into in-shop meetings anytime soon. So just know that. In order to keep my announcements as short as possible, the one thing that I'll let you know is that the website, the KCWT website, has about any information you need, including old newsletters if you want to reference back to something that was demonstrated or information that was available there, or maybe some old articles that were written. Also recordings of all of our old meetings, and then members list, that's to name a few things. So do use that as a resource for information, especially while we're not able to be together live and kind of pass information between each other as easily. We will be updating the calendar of events for the year as the year progresses and as we get some events to put into the calendar. So, you know, bounce back in every now and then, take a look. Let us know if you see anything that needs to be updated or corrected. 2021 membership dues is now due. We want to see everyone back. I hope that everybody comes back and stays with the club through this year. We'd like, I guess, payments can be made online. They can be mailed to Kevin Neely's house, or he said if you want to, you could even drop it by his house. Kevin did a little bit of repair on the website, or repair. He did a little bit of addition to the donation portion of the website. So there is actually a opportunity to donate beyond the dues if you'd like to do that. So everybody, please get your dues paid, and if you have availability, add a little extra donation to the club. Helps get through this tough year. Open shop's going to continue. It says in January. It's going to continue through the year as we've been doing. I don't know of anything that's going to stop from our normal days and evenings of open shop. So just continue as normal. We are still using the Sign Up Genius to get signed up for it. And like to stress to clean up before you leave. Kind of not only the area that you're working in. With fewer people working in the shop, it's kind of funny that the shop is actually a little more less tidy than it usually is, because I think people are doing a good job of cleaning up right where they're working, but then some of the, you know, dust and everything that goes everywhere else, that's not getting addressed. In reaction to that, I'm going to create a quarterly shop cleanup. I'm going to establish 4 dates for the year that will just start the Saturday morning open shop with a shop cleanup, and just look for that to come out in an email of when that would be. I'd really like to request that the folks that are using the open shop the most are there to help clean up those dates, but we'll see what we can do. Wanted to remind everybody to check out the Etsy site, Hand Turn KC. Like to have everybody consider a donation if they'd like to get something, a turned item, donated to the club to put up on the Etsy site. It's nice, and it's kind of self-gratifying when you do have a sale. Congratulations to Bill, who sold a pepper mill. Kevin, I'm sorry, Bill's last name?
Paulo.
Paulo, that's
Paulo.
right. Okay. Bill Paulo sold a pepper mill off the website that he had donated to the club. So it's starting. It's small right now, but with some donations, we can make it even better. We've got a plan to. A few of us are going to meet in the library. That's where our permanent galleries display cases are, and we're going to do a little bit of cleaning up and some additions to that, and hopefully make it a little bit more appealing to the eyes, and maybe even discuss alternative locations to get a little bit more eyes on it. We've asked Anthony if he could offer a beginning turning class, and Anthony, you'll have to remind me, did you say you are offering a Valentine's Day oriented beginner spindle class, or that might be an option? I'll figure that out later, but there is going to be some classes coming up, so keep an eye out for emails in regards to that. I've asked Anthony if he could get another beginners class in there, because there seems to be several new members, and I think that would be good for them to have that option.
I was muted. I'm no longer feeling mute.
Anthony, did you say?
No, I heard.
That?
So we're talking about a bowl class next, and then another spindle class.
Okay. Okay.
And I didn't know much about Valentine's Day.
I think I had it as a note, and I apologize. I shouldn't have put it in here without knowing or checking with you first. So there will be a couple classes. Keep an eye out for emails from Kevin that'll define when the dates are and what exactly will be there. But they will be oriented more towards beginners or intermediates turning classes. Let's see, February demo.
Are you locked up, Chris? Yeah, the February demo is Mike McReynolds. He's making an all wood sea urchin ornament. It'll be really cool. That's not it. I saw it a couple Saturdays ago. It's pretty cool. It'll save you having to buy a sea urchin shell.
Sorry, Kevin, that was probably me bouncing to the next screen, but that was the last item. And then this was.
Let's see if Chris is locked up or not. If that's the last item, that's the last item.
Well, that's the last item on his thing. This other one is, this thing is the December silent auction piece was donated by Anthony Harris. It's not too late to bid for it. And the bidding will begin or will end on Friday, January 16th. So that's still open. And if you're interested in it, you get out there and put a bid on this. It's, I'm not sure what kind of wood it is.
Sycamore and walnut.
It's Baltic sycamore, walnut, and, or no, not walnut. What's the one in Texas and Florida? Mesquite. And eucalyptus.
Manzanita?
Eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus. Okay.
Wow.
Also, Friday is the 15th and not the 16th.
Well, I mean, maybe that's Friday the 16th, 2027.
Could be.
That's a joke. We'll have to find that out. Okay, it's Friday though. Whatever that is, Friday the 16th, Friday the 15th. And I'll send out info on Sean's thing tomorrow. Sean has a really nice Irish wedding cup.
Wow, that's cool.
Okay, so the bidding on this, if it's truly a Friday, it'll be February 12th. And then tonight's demo is a 6-sided bowl from Efi. Yeah, well, thanks for the headline there. Okay, now I need to share something else, new share. So with that, and since I don't have Chris and I don't know if he has something else to say, I'm gonna go ahead and share Efi's presentation and let him get started on the demo. So, and for those of you that like to stay up all night, it's time to start drinking coffee.
Hello?
I got it.
Hi, everybody. My name is Efi Kamara. I've been in the club for about 10 years, enjoying my time. I feel that the club is like a family. I learned a lot from many people, and I love, or I like turning a lot, and I enjoy it a lot. So originally I'm from Israel, and here is a presentation that I prepared. Basically, the objective of the demo is to go through basic turning. I'll go over the steps of what are the steps that are needed to be done when you start turning, and how to handle the tools. In this 6-sided ball, we have a kind of a skirt or a wing that we need to cut under it. And I will go over the process of making a ball.
Ready?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
So the unique things about this demo is creating the ball from a blank. Doing a wing for the ball, and setting the thickness and rounding the kind of a skirt. The steps, I'm going to go through the steps of the demo. I started with the drawing and cutting the wood. Then the next step will be turning the bottom and the foot, sanding the bottom. Typically, when I finish when I have the foot ready, I do the complete finish on the bottom. Then I flip the wood and mount the wood on the chuck, finalizing the skirt that we will see shortly, hollowing the ball, sanding, and finishing the bottom. There is many ways to create a 6-sided hexagon. So you start with a campus, and then from the center, or from the line of the circle, you use the same radius to do the 6 points, and then with the ruler making the lines. And I used, and you can use also a template to print it, and then use a bandsaw to cut and prepare the wood. So that's how the process starts. And first step will be to mount the wood between centers, like so, and start to make the round side of the bottom, making the foot in order to chuck the wood when you flip it, sanding the bottom. So at this stage, it's easy to access this area. Once the wood is on the chuck, it's harder to access it. So this is the right time to sand and finish the bottom. Now you can have a break and take some coffee. The next step will be to mount the wood on the chuck. I didn't see anyone laughing or something. The next step will be to finalize the skirt. Now is the time to make sure that the thickness is right and it's the edge is rounded. Next step will be to hollow the ball. Now sand the inside of the ball and the rest of the pieces. The last step would be to finish the bottom. Usually I use a kind of a plate to a face plate, and then with the knob that is left, I use a Dremel with a sanding disc. And that's the final product. So we'll get to it. Before really starting to turn, I enjoy, or I like to emphasize the safety aspect. So the purpose of, or the audience for this demo is for beginners as well as experienced. So I want to stress that you should make sure to look after safety. So when you mount the wood, make sure it's mounted. Make sure that the wood is mounted safely, tight between centers. When you start the lathe, start slow and then increase the speed. Make sure that there are no cracks, and be minded about safety. It's better to play it safe and sorry. So we'll start with the first step. I'm checking that the tool rest is in the right position. Okay, so let's start with turning the lathe slow. And I'm starting to now is the time to emphasize where I want the skirt to end. So that's, I'm going to set the tool in a way that I will so when it's turning, I can see like the shadow, the ghost of the end of the skirt, and that's the end of the point that I want to reach. I will reposition the tool rest to get the yep. And this time I'm also making sure that the shape is the way that I like. So currently this line is like straight, and that's the time to make the bottom shape rounded. So you can see that the shape, now is the time of the designing the shape. Try to make a continuous cut, to make not to make tool marks. So now the time is to make the skirt rounded, or the bottom of the skirt, and then I will make the foot as well. Okay, I have this area that I need to clean up, and I also want to make the bottom of this skirt kind of round, which is looks nicer. Okay, this looks good. This edge is kind of rounded, and the points are nice. Tool marks are, I have a tool mark here that I will clean and make it nicer. Okay, and now is the time to now is the time to make the food. Jack, say something.
You're adjusting the tool rest. I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Okay, so
Give me a script.
so far it looks nice. What about the time? Where are we now?
You're fine. You got plenty.
Okay, so I'm going to make the tenant now. Do you have a kind of okay.
Fell off the table,
Good
okay?
enough? Or is too
It's
little?
2 inches. It fits,
It fits, okay.
and it's good.
Okay, so
So it's more than 2 inches.
okay, so I'll make it smaller.
A little bit smaller.
Okay. So it's okay. So now we make since I'm using a dovetail, I'm making the foot to to fit the chuck, and that's use this scraper. Making sure that it's flat and the angle fits to the chuck, and I'm ready to do the other side.
You want your coffee?
Sure, yeah, that's a good time for a coffee break. Okay, that's what we have now, and I'm going to remove the live center and use the chuck. No, just say. So as I said earlier, and I skipped this step, but typically when after finishing the bottom, that's the time that I typically sand the outside. It's really easy to access this area, and I can make it all the grades of sanding. So I will skip the sanding at this step this time, and I will okay, when I put the wood in the chuck, I make sure that it's flat and tight it so it won't be loose. And now I'm going to finish the skirt, making the skirt kind of round.
$400 range. At auction, I would estimate its value.
It's very similar to the previous I don't know if you can see that on the when I'm turning, but there is this ghost here that I'm following to make sure that and that's the time I'm controlling the thickness, and I want to make the I want to make the this skirt, this edge is also rounded, and it will look nicer this way. Now, my goal is to have the bottom of the ball like illusion that it's kind of continuous. And so I need to make this area, and I need to cut more wood in order to show that the bottom of the ball continues with the top of the. A bit more. And it seems it seems right. So as if the ball, the bottom and the top is the same diameter, and it looks kind of continuous. Now I'll just make a final cut here to make this skirt nicer. Okay, this looks good. So at the bottom, maybe I should have make the point or the maybe a little bit more rounded, but it does look good. I'll do another cut so to get rid of those tool marks. Okay, this is much better. Okay, now is the time that I can hollow the ball. At this time, I will also determine the thickness of the ball, and I think this is in terms of the way the entire thing looks. I will take some of the top as well. So that's the time to do that. Typically, I like to set the width of the ball, and then after that, start following it. Something was kind of loose. Okay. Seems that this kind of the wood is kind of soft, and let me check what's okay. I'll type a little bit more. So we went very quickly on all those steps of doing it between centers, finishing the bottom, creating the foot, doing the undercut of the skirt, and flipping the wood, and now the process of hollowing. Takes some time. Something is not right. I wonder if I should use the sales software. Let me do that. I'll use the sales software.
You want the test?
Yeah. Any questions? Any comments? Anyone's there? Anyone is there?
There's people there.
Okay, good. So I'm really lucky that I have Jack studio here. You should see it. There are many cameras, all the equipment, and it's easy to do all those things here.
Efi, this is Daniel. What size bowl gouge are you using?
This is a 3/8.
Okay, thanks.
And basically, most of my turning, I'm using this tool. I really like it. There are other tools that I will use later, like a scraper, and I use the scraper to make the foot as well. And that was.
Efi, this is Chris. I was wondering, do you establish the thickness of the thickness you make the skirt? Is that kind of the thickness then that you'll go for with the bowl as well?
Exactly. So that's what I've done before. The thickness of the skirt, I will try to match it to but it doesn't have to be this way. It can be very narrow, not very thick, and you can play with it. And Jack came with all kinds of ideas. You can also pierce the skirt and do all kinds of decorations. So now is the time. It's kind of boring time. So this. Okay. To make sure that it's tight. Now I'll finish the following the wall. As close where if the tool rest is close to the wall, it's really easier. So that's the way I want to make sure that make sure that the thickness of the ball will be right. Okay, that looks okay. I'll go with another cut. I think there is some work to do on the wall of the ball. At this stage, what I'm trying to do is that the wall, the thickness of the wall will be even and no tool marks. And there is a lot that I can take at the bottom. So sometimes, in order to make sure how far I'm in, I'm using a kind of a masking tape. So I want this ball to be at this thickness, and I'm setting this tool masking tape to make sure that I'm not doing it too much. So using this trick to see, but I'm still far from reaching the bottom. I will also take care of this area. It's very dusty, it's very dry.
What? What is that?
Hey, Ken and Sheila.
Hello, Efi.
Hi, Efi. I didn't know it was like the toilet. I didn't know what was.
So this area of making the bottom, I think I will not finish it now. And I want to show you the next step. So let's see what we got so far. So we make the bottom. We created the foot. I created or make the shape round, or this is the step of design, how you want the ball to look like. And I made this lip to show as kind of a illusion that the ball is continuing. And the next step will be to finish the ball. And luckily I have did it, it's done. I did the hollowing very quickly, and the next step will be to finish the bottom. And for that, I'm using like just a regular stump scrap wood. And this scrap wood is already, I was using this to make, and I prepared this to fit exactly to the waist block. And now I can bring the tool rest, the tailstock, and finish the bottom. And also now is the time to make the bottom, and you can also do some decorations there and finish the bottom the way you like. So you can take again, making sure that everything is tight, it's safe. And now I get rid of this area. When doing the bottom, you want to make sure that there is kind of a lip that the ball will stand on, and that the bottom will be concave, and this way it won't wobble. So Let me do that. Okay, again, that's the time that I did the final cut here. I made the lip higher than the lip is higher, so it will stand and the concave won't touch the table. And typically that that's the time to have kind of a decoration if you want. This is a detail tool that you can make details there. And then after, where is that? Yeah, now it's better. You can have those details. And of course, this needs to be sanded as well. And taking the knob is, I do it with a Dremel and sanding it. And that's another example. So that's the process of making a six-sided ball. And since when Sean asked me to do that, 6 is not something that you must use. So I tried and experiment with 12-sided, and it also looks nice. I did several of them, and you can see that you can play with the thickness, make the skirt a kind of round, and play with the aesthetic side as well. And I think that's about it to do a quick basic how to make a six-sided ball. Any questions?
Yeah, so Efi, if we're going to have to make one of these for our challenge piece, most of the bowls I make have an inside and an outside. Does that mean it's a multi-sided bowl? I'll be quiet now.
Efi, what kind of wood did you use?
So I made several bowls. So for this one, I typically use free wood. So this is I don't know what type of wood is that. It's from the club. Actually, from the guild, somebody gave me, and it doesn't need to be very thick to make. And you can see this one, the skirt is really big, and you can make the skirt smaller.
This one is sycamore, right?
Yes, this one is sycamore, and the other one is walnut. And this one has no finish at all, so it's just sanded. And yeah, that's it.
One quick question. The wood has to be really dry, doesn't it?
Yes. It's better to be dry, and if it's not, if it's wet, it may warp and won't be kind of symmetric, or and maybe it will be interesting to see it when it's warped as well. Okay, I'm glad that I was on time to finish it.
Efi, you're always on time. What are you talking about? Hey, I appreciate, I apologize to everybody. My internet, it keeps bouncing in and out, so I'm in and out tonight. But Efi, great presentation. From what I was seeing, I followed the whole thing, and I think I can duplicate this. So Efi, what is our challenge for next month?
Any sided ball. So you can do 7, 6, or 9, or 12, whatever number you want to do. So
How about 2?
2 is, yeah. 2 is
That's a challenge. Okay, so a skirted bowl with as many sides, or the number of sides is up to you.
Yes, and you know, when we did the sphere, people came with many ideas. Hollow sphere, with threaded sphere. So use your imagination to come up with variety of balls with the skirts. Piercing, thick, thin, whatever you like to. That's one of the things I really like about wood turning. The versatility of, you can make not only balls, goblets, many things. And that's, you know, it's the imagination is the limit.
Great, great. Well, thank you. Thank you for your presentation tonight, Efi. It was well put together and easy to follow, I think, for everybody. Anybody else that would have a question for Efi? Now would be the time to ask. I will shut up for just a second.
I wanted to say thanks, Efi.
Yes, thank you, Efi.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Very good presentation. Enjoyable.
Thank you.
Hey, Efi, thanks to you and Jack for both taking the time to do this. This is really cool.
Yes, good to see you too. It's been a while since we met at the club.
It has.
Many nice faces, and look forward for the time that we can get together at the shop and do some turning together.
Yep.
I'm glad. I know that we have few new members here and visitors, so it's really glad to see those nice faces here.
Thank you, Efi. It was interesting.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks again, Efi, and Jack. Thanks for offering the space to provide that and all the video equipment and everything necessary to have a good demo. Thought you guys did a great job tonight. Thank you.
Chris